Okay, so today we're doing spark plugs. It's part of the 100,000 mile maintenance on the truck. So we're gonna go ahead and get the NGKs swapped in there. This is the LZFR5CI-11, and these are supposed to be gapped to 0.043. These are supposed to be pre-gapped to 0.044. Every single one of these that I opened, all 16, I don't know if somebody fell asleep on the job, but these were all 0.040. So I opened them up just a little bit. I checked the gap tool with calipers as well, just to make sure that everything was right. So now everything is 0.04344-ish. And then that's within the acceptable range. Anything 0.043 to 0.0445 is decent. If it goes up like 0.046, then we need to bring it back down. So 0.043 is what we're aiming for. 4.4 is kind of about what seemed to be where I could get it. It's kind of hard to differentiate between 4.3 and 4.4, but that's well within the gap. So we're going to go ahead and start getting those installed. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do the passenger side first. It's going to be a little bit easier, but essentially we're taking out these 10mm bolts, disconnecting the harness off the top of the coil pack, and then we'll pull that out, and then we'll go in and get the spark plugs underneath each. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, I'm going to get the compressed air. Make sure, so you see this one's got some of the boot grease down in there, so that's good. The contacts look decent. We're gonna keep these in order. We're just gonna go one at a time, but I can see them down there. Let's see. Everything's pretty clean, so let's make this happen. Wow, it's pretty tight. There we go. All right, there's number one. Okay, so here's the one that came out of there, right? You can see. Also, just to confirm for everybody, this is actually an NGK. This is an NGK plug. I've never done I bought this truck with 8 miles on it, so this came from the factory. It's not even Mopar branded. It's just NGK IR, and this is LZFR5CI11. Now that is exactly what we got right here. LZFR5CI11. So, in case you're wondering, Rock Auto has exactly what they're putting in. It doesn't have to be the Mopar brand ones, because it's exactly what's in the truck. So, anyway, so what we're gonna do next, just as a confirmation, again, as we talked about the gapping, I'm gonna go ahead and check the gap on the one that just came out against the gapping on the rest of them, and that way we can just kind of confirm everything. And then again, just to show you guys, so this is exactly where I gapped the rest of them to, 0.0444345, like right in that gap there. So I think we are in good shape to go ahead and swap this out, and we're not gonna have to worry about anything. Also, something to note, these are already pre-plated, so you do not add anti-seize grease to these. That can actually mess up your torque value, and with aluminum heads, if you put anti-seize on here and torque it to 13 foot-pounds, you could actually end up going higher, which makes you risk stripping the threads in the block, and that is the last thing you want to end up doing on a simple spark plug job. So don't coat them, no anti-seize, just trust the copper plate, or not the copper, the nickel chromium plating that's on here. That's gonna allow this to come off easier later. Just throw it in there and call it good. 13 foot-pounds. Okay, that's the first one. All right, second one for the first side done. So before I put this back in, I'm going to add a little bit more dielectric grease to the tip. Cool. All right. There we go. All right, so it's number one done. Let's go on to number two. All right, this one's gonna be a little bit tricky, but we're gonna get it done. All right, that's all the passenger side. just to try to get me some more space on the driver's side, I'm going to open up. I'm gonna take apart some of these clips and stuff and just see if I can make a little more room. Okay, so I did this hose right here. I did end up disconnecting it because it is pretty rigid. Just take this off, pull it up out of the way. Now you have access to 1, 2, 3, and I think we have enough access for 4 too. So I think as long as you take off the clips, take off the little hangers here, pop that out, and then disconnect that there, you should have enough room to get in here and start getting to work. So we'll get started. All right, so I am making this much more difficult for me so that you guys can get a good view, because I've got my GoPro mount and I've got another light, so we got ample lighting. So this is gonna be kind of tricky. My hands are probably gonna be blocking a little bit of the view, but stick with me here because I'm trying to get this for you guys, not me. So. All right, finally. Boom. So I might have missed that a little bit, but I went ahead and took the coil pack off. And then this guy actually shortened it. So now we're not quite to the hard one yet with the brake booster, but I went ahead and shortened it. So I still currently have the spark plug socket. It's got the rubber boot in there. And then I have a 1/2 inch adapter and then like a 3 inch extension. So that feeds out pretty well. And then it actually, it's almost like perfect. It's, by the time it's on the bottom of it, it's just a little bit, maybe about a 1/2 inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch above flush. And then I'm gonna use this guy with like a little 1.5 to get it out. So that's number 2. I think so that I have the reach to get the torque wrench in here, I think I'm going to actually leave this cover off, or the coil pack out, and then continue working my way down to get to the other 2. Let me see if I can get a better picture of that. So there's 2 more right here, right in the back, but I think I won't have enough room with my torque wrench if I go ahead and put that coil pack on. So I think I'm gonna leave that off for now. Go ahead and do the last 2 and then work my way back up to put the coil packs back in. Buddy? Also, I did take off the engine cover just to give me the space I need here. Okay. All right. All right, and now we got room to get to it. It's not gonna be fun. Okay, all right, let's do some shenanigans. So, I'm not using my spark plug socket now. I'm using just a long 16, Harbor Freight, whatever you wanna call it. It's just, this is how we're gonna make this happen. So, actually, okay, so. Okay, there's that. And then we got this guy. Okay. Now I gotta go find it. There it is. All right, so I'm on there. Now I need to go break it loose. All right, got it loose. Okay, so I've got it hand loose now, so I can do this. And let's see how this goes. I've still got a little resistance, so I'm gonna wait until I don't have any resistance left. Okay, so let's deconstruct this one at a time. So let's pop the first extension off. All right, so extension 1. It's extension 2. Still holding the socket with my fingers. All right, that's all out. Now, we need to get a magnet down in there to pull that out. Okay, so I put a little like tiny magnet on the end of here. Stick it down. There we go, made contact. All right, that's super unfortunate, but basically I was going down when the camera died. I had a magnet on the end of this extension, and I was able to grab the back end of this and pull it up through by the brake booster. So that's how I did it. That worked out pretty well. Okay, so going back in, I do have the actual spark plug socket now, and I have enough room. I can go vertical, rotate in, and then go drop. But I don't want to just drop it all on its own. So I'm gonna start building parts back on here. I actually already had enough room for the extension part. Now we're gonna get this plugged in. Oh, that almost slipped out of my hands. So I'm gonna add this. I'm actually just gonna push that off the booster. Ah, okay, well. That is one of the 2 most unpleasant bolts on the entire job, or spark plugs. So, let's do it. Cool. All right, now let's deconstruct this back out of here. Cool. All right, that's the first one. There we go. Let's do. Okay. There's that. There's that socket. Okay. Let's get the magnet. And again, same process. We're gonna stick the magnet on here. There it goes, grab. And there we go. Okay, same process. Socket going down and in. Add the extensions on the back as best we can. Okay. Okay, that one's done. That was the trickiest one. That's the one that everybody hates the most. So again, I'm just gonna put some tape for now to cover the stuff so I can get to that last coil pack with some ease. I'm back after we get that one swapped out. Cool, on to the last one. All right, last one back here. There we go. Okay, there's that. All right. Oh man, the gymnastics required with the rest of my body to get this is ridiculous. All right, so that is down there. So we're good. Let's go ahead and start taking this all back out, piece at a time. Okay, that one. All right. Cool. Let's get the coil pack back in. Alrighty. Okay. Okay, well, I did not have the coil packs going on as part of the harder issue to solve here, but as you can see, I'm kind of bent. Stool sliding away. Okay. So, let's see if we can fix this. That one's in the last coil pack, and then we are done. Yeah. Okay, last coil pack. Going in. Okay, those are all set. So let's go ahead and start reconnecting stuff here. So confirmed, these are all tight, coils are all in. So let's go ahead and start rebuilding by first getting this tube it set. It goes under. This white part comes out here. This slides over the top. There we go. That's in. So go ahead and lower connections made. So go ahead and do this. This guy snapped there, bottom one in, what's left of it, top one, and same thing for this, there, and this needs to come around, through, clicked, and I didn't really mess with anything else there. So that is all good to go. Let's get the cover back on. Okay, so that is all put together. Let's clean some of this stuff off. All right, we're gonna fire it up. Make sure everything's working right. Buddy, you wanna help me fire it up? You help me turn it on? Come here, bud. Yeah. All right. Let's see.
He's pretty mad with your set.
That's all right. Take your time, buddy. All right, so that's about normal idle range. So I'm gonna go rev it a couple of times, just make sure there's no misfires, sputtering. That does it. That's how you do your spark plugs. Okay, so now that we have all that over, just gonna run through all the info on these. So again, these are the exact same plugs. So these are the plugs that came out of the truck, right? The LZFR 5CI11. That's exactly what we just put in. Interestingly, all of these coming out of the truck, they all gapped in at about 0.04344, and the exact same ones, brand new out of the box, pre-gapped, they were all 040 and maybe a little bit under. So just, if you're doing this, double check the gap, even if they're pre-gapped, because I had to open up all 16 of the ones that I just put in. I did not end up using, so I bought a few of these spare ignition boots just in case. Honestly, everything in there looked clean enough that I didn't end up having to use any of them, so I'll keep those for another time. But that is essentially how you do all of it. Again, it helps to have one of these little neodymium coin magnets, unless you have like a flexible magnet that you can stick down for the last, I guess, what's that, cylinder 5 and 7. Is that, yeah, on the driver's side, the one that's obscured by the brake booster, and then the one behind it, but especially the one for the brake booster, a magnet helps. So anyway, that's how you do it on a 2019 and newer, on the DT models with the 5.7. That's how you get this knocked out. So hopefully that was helpful.